If AI doesn't truly understand anything, if it lacks genuine comprehension, then why does it consistently sound so remarkably intelligent and articulate in its responses? This is a fundamental question that often leads to a quiet confusion among users and observers alike. When you engage with an AI and read its generated response, it frequently presents itself with an air of confidence, clarity, and a well-organized structure. These outputs can sometimes even convey a sense of thoughtfulness, making them appear as if a conscious entity crafted them. This perceived intelligence is a key aspect of the user experience. You pose a question to the AI, and the answer it provides flows seamlessly, adjusting its tone to match the context of your inquiry. It responds in a manner that suggests it understands precisely what you're asking, often anticipating your needs and delivering information in a highly relevant way. This smooth interaction contributes significantly to the illusion of understanding. And this creates a quiet, yet persistent, confusion. We are repeatedly told by experts that AI doesn't truly think, that it doesn't grasp the underlying meaning of the words it processes, and that it fundamentally doesn't know what it's saying in a human sense. This disconnect between what we're told and what we experience is at the heart of the puzzle. So, if these statements are true, why does it feel so strongly like AI does understand? The crucial answer isn't that AI possesses a human-like understanding of language or meaning. Instead, the answer lies in AI's extraordinary capability to predict what sounds right, what constitutes a coherent and plausible sequence of words in any given context. This predictive power is the core of its apparent intelligence. AI is not fundamentally built to comprehend meaning in the way a human brain does. Its architecture and training are designed to excel at recognizing intricate patterns, specifically the statistical patterns inherent in how humans use language. It's a sophisticated pattern-matching machine, not a semantic interpreter. It has been exposed to and processed billions, even trillions, of examples of how words naturally follow other words in sentences, how complex explanations are typically framed and structured, how arguments are logically constructed, and the common ways people respond in various conversational scenarios. This vast exposure to linguistic data, often amounting to petabytes of text, allows it to learn the statistical regularities of human communication with incredible precision. Therefore, when you ask an AI a question, its internal process isn't asking, "What does this question truly mean?" or "What is the underlying intent?" Instead, it's asking a much simpler, yet incredibly powerful, statistical question. Given all the words and context provided so far, what is the single most likely next word or token that should appear? This mechanism, known as next token prediction, is fundamental to how large language models operate. This next token prediction is the core mechanism driving AI's language generation. There is no inherent awareness, no conscious intention, and no genuine understanding of the content. It is purely a function of probability, a statistical calculation based on the vast patterns it has learned from its training data. This probabilistic nature is key to demystifying its apparent intelligence. However, when this probabilistic prediction becomes extraordinarily accurate, when the AI consistently generates sequences of words that are highly coherent and contextually appropriate, it begins to create a powerful illusion. This illusion makes it appear as if the AI possesses genuine understanding, even though its underlying process is purely statistical. The sheer fluency can be mistaken for comprehension. Consider how we, as humans, typically judge intelligence in our daily interactions. We don't have direct access to another person's thoughts or internal mental states. Instead, we infer their intelligence from external cues, how they speak, the coherence and relevance of their responses, and how logically structured their answers sound. This human tendency to infer intelligence from linguistic output is crucial. If someone explains a complex concept with clarity, confidence, and precision, our natural inclination is to assume they deeply understand the subject matter. AI unintentionally, yet effectively, benefits from this deeply ingrained human assumption. Its ability to mimic clear and confident communication triggers our natural cognitive biases, leading us to attribute understanding where none exists. For instance, when you task an AI with explaining a particularly difficult or nuanced topic, such as a complex medical condition, an intricate legal concept, or a challenging work-related problem, it frequently delivers an answer that sounds remarkably calm, well-organized, and reassuring. The presentation itself is often impeccable, regardless of the factual accuracy. Even if certain parts of that AI-generated answer contain factual inaccuracies or are fundamentally incorrect, the confident and reassuring tone itself often makes the response feel inherently trustworthy to the human recipient. This phenomenon occurs because AI is expertly designed to produce language that statistically matches the patterns and stylistic elements associated with genuine human understanding. It replicates the sound of understanding, even if the substance is flawed. Here's a helpful analogy to better grasp this concept. Imagine a hypothetical individual who has meticulously read and absorbed every single conversation ever recorded, every article ever published, every book ever written, and every explanation humanity has ever produced. This person possesses an encyclopedic knowledge of how language is used, but crucially, they have never lived a single real-world experience. They're a master of linguistic patterns, but a novice in lived reality. This hypothetical person has never personally felt the gripping sensation of fear, never grappled with the weight of making a truly difficult decision, and never experienced the profound emotions of uncertainty or loss. They don't possess an intrinsic, felt understanding of these human experiences. Instead, their knowledge is limited to how humans talk about these experiences, the linguistic frameworks and expressions used to describe them. They know the words, but not the world behind them. If you were to ask this person to explain the complex phenomenon of anxiety, they could articulate a highly convincing and coherent explanation. This isn't because they personally feel or have ever felt anxiety, but rather because they have meticulously observed and learned how anxiety is described, discussed, and framed within countless human texts. Their explanation is a masterful reproduction of linguistic patterns, not a reflection of personal experience. This analogy precisely illustrates what AI is doing across the entire spectrum of human knowledge and communication. It doesn't genuinely understand abstract ideas, concepts, or emotions in the same way that humans do, with all the associated lived experience and cognitive frameworks. Instead, AI understands and manipulates patterns of expression, the statistical regularities of how those ideas are conveyed through language. It's a master of syntax and semantics at a statistical level, not a conceptual one. And because human language is intrinsically and deeply tied to meaning, the output generated by AI, which is a sophisticated mimicry of human language, inherently feels meaningful to us. This fundamental connection between language and meaning in the human mind is why AI can construct explanations that are beautifully articulated and incredibly fluent, yet still be factually incorrect or conceptually flawed. The critical distinction is that sounding right and actually being right are not the same thing, and AI often excels at the former without guaranteeing the latter. Ultimately, AI is optimized for coherence, for generating text that flows logically and makes sense within its learned patterns, not for absolute truth. It is optimized for fluency, for producing smooth and natural-sounding language, not for genuine understanding. And it's important to recognize that fluency itself is an incredibly powerful and persuasive quality, often leading us to believe in the underlying intelligence of the speaker. A confident and articulate explanation, even if it originates from an AI, often feels inherently reliable and trustworthy to human listeners. This perception holds true even when the explanation is incomplete, lacking crucial details, or, more critically, when it contains outright factual inaccuracies. The sheer confidence in its delivery can override our critical assessment of its substance. There's another profound reason why this illusion of AI intelligence is so incredibly strong and pervasive. Human brains are biologically and culturally wired to instinctively treat language as a direct signal of a conscious mind, an indicator of thought, intention, and awareness. This is a fundamental aspect of human social cognition. For the vast majority of human history, Language was exclusively produced by other human beings, by conscious minds with intentions and beliefs. Consequently, when something communicates clearly and coherently, our ancient instincts automatically activate. We instinctively assume intention, we attribute awareness, and it can powerfully feel as though there is a conscious entity, a someone, behind the words. This happens even when, in the case of AI, there isn't a conscious mind present. This deeply ingrained reaction to language isn't a cognitive mistake, it's a fundamental and deeply human characteristic. AI doesn't feel intelligent because it possesses genuine intelligence in the human sense. Instead, it feels intelligent because it has become extraordinarily adept at mirroring and reproducing the surface patterns and stylistic nuances of human intelligence. It's a master mimic, reflecting the outward signs of intelligence without possessing the underlying cognitive machinery. This fundamental characteristic of AI also provides a clear explanation for why it can sometimes surprise us with its capabilities, and at other times, fail in remarkably obvious or awkward ways. Occasionally, AI generates responses that feel genuinely insightful, profoundly creative, or even demonstrate a spark of originality. Yet, in other instances, it produces nonsensical outputs, makes glaring factual errors, or exhibits a complete lack of common sense, revealing its limitations. The reason for this variability is that AI isn't engaging in step-by-step, logical reasoning like a human mind. It's not consciously deliberating or constructing arguments from first principles. Instead, it's navigating an incredibly complex, high-dimensional landscape of probabilities, selecting the most statistically probable next token at each step based on its vast training data. This probabilistic navigation is a fundamentally different process from human reasoning. Most of the time, the statistical probabilities that guide AI's language generation align remarkably well with how humans typically think, speak, and structure information. This alignment is what creates the illusion of intelligence. However, there are instances when these probabilities diverge from human intuition or factual reality. And when they don't align, when the statistical patterns lead to an illogical or incorrect output, the illusion of understanding abruptly breaks, revealing the underlying mechanism. In these moments of divergence, the AI's confident tone often remains perfectly intact, but the actual substance of its response collapses into incoherence or factual error. This stark contrast highlights the inherent limitation. It's the profound cost of having apparent intelligence without genuine understanding. The form is maintained, but the meaning is lost or never truly present. So, the next time an AI generates a response that sounds remarkably intelligent, remember this crucial distinction. It isn't truly thinking, it isn't consciously aware, and it isn't forming beliefs or intentions in any human-like sense. Its process is fundamentally different from our own cognitive functions. Instead, AI is exceptionally good at continuing language in ways that humans statistically expect and find coherent. This single, powerful ability to predict and generate plausible linguistic sequences is potent enough to create the compelling illusion of genuine intelligence, even without true comprehension. It's a testament to the power of statistical pattern matching on a massive scale. And once you fully grasp and internalize this critical distinction between statistical fluency and genuine understanding, you will naturally stop overestimating the true capabilities of AI. This clarity will empower you to use these powerful tools more clearly, more carefully, and ultimately more wisely, leveraging their strengths while being aware of their inherent limitations. It transforms how you interact with and interpret AI outputs. In our next video, we will delve deeper into a concept closely connected to this discussion, exploring why AI can often feel incredibly creative, even though, from a fundamental perspective, it has never had a single original thought or truly novel idea of its own. We'll uncover the mechanisms behind its apparent creativity and how it differs from human innovation.